Part 2. This time we replaced the rotor last time. Now we're going in to replace the wheel bearing hub. The hub is the part that holds the tire onto the vehicle. And it's, believe me, we gotta dig deep to get to it. First we're moving the rotor alignment screw. Next we're removing the two bolts, top bolt and a bottom bolt, 12-inch socket to remove the top and bottom bolt on the caliper housing. Once you remove the top and bottom bolts, set them aside, then you just wiggle and you take the caliper off. Carefully sit it to the side. It has to be way up out of the way because we're going in. At this time the brake shoes will be right there at hand to take those right on out. Now we have to remove the caliper housing. This is what holds the caliper in place over the rotor so it doesn't move. You need a 3/4 12-point. You really need the ratchet, but I'm using this 12-point wrench, and I just hit down on it with a hammer, and I got lucky. They wasn't too tight. It came on loose. You know, you take the bolt out. As you can see, it's a pretty nice sized bolt, top and bottom. Set those to the side, and of course it comes right out. And last time I was in, you see it's kind of shiny. Took a wire brush and cleaned out the two insides where the brake pads ride. You know, it gives it a little smoother action as the brakes are working. Next would be removing the rotor. Some mechanics on videos I seen, they were hitting the part right here. You know, it doesn't really damage the rotor, but why would you hit here? You just give it a few taps because it's already released. Mine's not going to be hard, you know. Don't even need to give it no rear taps as to mess up the rotor. Just a few front taps. Mine is not that hard because, as I said in my previous video, I had just removed it the other day, so it comes right off. Then we're right there where we need to be at the hub. This is what we need to be getting at the hub. What I'm doing now is removing the brake. It's like a dust cover. Keep the brake dust from going back into the boot and different things, and just protects, you know. Normally they don't remove this, but I'm removing it to nothing like a little extra room to be able to get in there, because as you can see, those bolts that I have to get off, there's 4 bolts down the bottom and 2 at the top that I have to get off that are real rusted. So I need as much room as I can to get to them. The next thing is to get a 32mm with a breaker bar, and that was a struggle. You really need an impact wrench. When I put all the back that I had into it to break this nut loose, it's a 32mm nut. That was my last struggle to get that off right there. Your next move is to just remove the wheel bearing hub. It slides right off. Next you have your brand new wheel bearing hub. What you have to do is make sure you slide it on where the bolt holes, 4 bolt holes, match exactly up as you pulled it off. Next, after we replaced all the 4 bolts holding the wheel bearing hub on, we have to do the axle locking nut. That's the last to secure the wheel bearing on. What you're doing is giving it 2 or 3 snug taps going on a Z, so the axle nut is indented, so you make sure that as your car's driving it won't back off. Next thing is to bolt the dust cover back on. 3 nuts hold it on. Make sure you bolt them down, and after that it's the rotor. Next is putting the rotor back on, but you have to line the rotor screw up because the bolt has to go back in the rotor. Really need a new bolt, huh?
What you need to do right now?
Next, we're replacing the caliper housing. Remember the two 12-point bolts that you need, and it takes 3/4 inch wrench. I got the fancy ratchet wrenches. Put the top and bottom bolt in. Now all we have to do is replace the brake pads, outside, inside, to do a little wiggling to get them to drop in place. You heard that snap, didn't you? We come on over with our caliper, line it up.
What you do for ground that? What you give for ground that?
Come with our top bolt for our caliper.
Your boyfriend gave you that?
Snug it down.
Plain.
The bottom bolt for the caliper. You ratchet, snug it down. Straighten your wheel back out, put your tire on, and that's your wheel hub job complete. Hope you learned something from this. I'm just sharing because I learned from a video, so I figured I'd give back. Hope you enjoy. Peace.